These are the best drugstore body care products I have ever tried. Welcome to part 2 of my Best of Drugstore series, where I share the top 3 products that impressed me the most in every single beauty category. Starting off with body wash, we have the Saltair Oil Infused Nourishing Body Wash. Ingredient highlights in this body wash include we're starting off strong here. Kukui oil, whatever. Cranberry phytosterol esters, argan oil, coconut oil, passion fruit seed oil, and buriti oil. Saltair has a lot of signature fragrances that are all pretty tropical or beachy or summery, and my personal favorite in this body wash is Golden Hour. This one is described as having notes of radiant sunflower, juicy pineapple, and fresh coconut. It just smells so summery and good. I absolutely love it. And I would describe the texture of this body wash as a lightweight shimmering gel that actually does feel like it's oil infused, but not because it's oily or greasy. It really doesn't feel like that at all. To me, it definitely just feels a bit silkier and softer than a traditional gel. So it's like the combination of that gel texture with a little bit of oil makes for an overall texture that's super silky and just really nice to use, especially when combined with that scent. Next up is the EOS Shea Butter Cashmere Body Wash. Ingredient highlights in this include cocoa seed butter, shea oil, and sunflower seed oil. EOS also has a handful of signature fragrances, but my absolute favorite in the body wash specifically is Fresh and Cozy. The fragrance notes in Fresh and Cozy are described as morning light, dewy cassis, and sheer musk, which combined together makes for the coziest, most comfortable fragrance ever, especially when I'm using it to wash my body in a warm shower. Like, there's just something about that instantly makes me feel more relaxed. So while I love using this at any time of day, especially before bed, it is so fresh and cozy. Oh, and I almost forgot to describe how this feels. So I would say that this is a pearlescent gel that is a bit thicker than Saltair. It's definitely not thick enough to feel like a heavy body wash. It's just maybe a bit more plush, which I love. And last for body wash, will not come as a surprise to those of you that have been keeping up with my videos over the past few months. It is the Dove Restoring Body Wash in coconut and cocoa butters. Ingredient highlights in this body wash include soybean oil, cocoa seed butter, and coconut oil. Like I've told you guys before, I don't actually think that this smells anything like they describe. They don't have any specific fragrance notes listed that I was able to find, but again, it's called coconut and cocoa butters. There's a literal coconut on the packaging, so you would expect this to smell very coconutty, tropical, maybe summery. To me, it doesn't smell anything like that, but I am obsessed with the smell. It is so yummy. I just get fresh baked goods from this, like sugar and snickerdoodle cookies combined, fresh out the oven. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm seriously addicted to the smell of this, and it's freaking Dove. Like, it's so cheap. But I also really love the texture of this because while it lathers up and cleans really well, it's soft and creamy at the same time. So it's a body wash that really nourishes, never leaves my skin feeling dry. It's just the best of both worlds. I mean, I would describe all of these body washes as being nourishing and non-stripping, but this is just the creamiest of all of these textures. And with these 3 body washes, I really cover all of my favorite scent categories for body care. Gourmand, of course, you guys know I am such a gourmand lover, but then also the fresh, the cozy, and the tropical. I love all 3 of those things. It's just like whatever I'm in the mood for each day is what I'll reach for. So if you also love similar fragrances, I feel like having all 3 of those as an option in your shower is the way to go. Moving on to body lotion, we have the Vaseline Pro Vita B3 Serum Burst Lotions. They have 2 different options. The first is Supple and Soft in the red packaging, which contains niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and peptides. And the second is Luminous Glow, which is in the gold packaging, and it also contains niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, but instead of peptides, highlights vitamin E. Both of these have a bright floral citrus scent. They're just slightly different. I would say that Supple and Soft in the red packaging is a little bit more floral, and Luminous Glow is a little bit more citrus. But both of them have floral citrus notes, and they're both very bright and summery. But the main highlight of these lotions is the insanely amazing and unique texture. They both have the exact same texture, and I would describe them as being serum-y lotions. They are ultra lightweight, silky soft, and extremely hydrating. When you squeeze it out of the bottle, it looks more like a traditional lotion, but as you start to rub it into the skin, you will see what I'm talking about. It starts to sheer out a little bit and take on more of that serum-like quality. So because of that, it does feel a little bit more wet at first compared to a traditional lotion or cream, but it does not stay feeling wet on the skin. It absorbs perfectly without leaving any wet or sticky residue. It honestly dries down to almost feel like I don't have anything on. It's that weightless, but yet it still leaves my skin feeling very very hydrated. So I don't understand this at all. I've never tried another lotion like this, but I love it. It's truly the perfect lotion for hot, humid summer months. Second for lotion is the Hempz body lotion, and the ingredient highlights in this are shea butter, cannabis sativa seed oil, sweet almond oil, shea butter, mango seed butter, and avocado oil. Hempz has a lot of different fragrances that I really enjoy. They also come out with limited edition seasonal scents that I always end up loving, but this is my absolute longtime favorite. It's koa and sweet almond, which in addition to those two things is also described as having creamy vanilla in the notes. Oh my God, I love this. Sweet almond is just so good and not used in body care enough. Like, I can't really think of many other body care products that has a sweet almond scent like this, and it is divine. And what's also divine is the texture of this. So this is definitely thicker and creamier than Vaseline, but out of all of my body moisturizers is still on the lighter weight end. This is one that I have always felt is perfect year round because it's super moisturizing without feeling heavy. So I can still use this in the summer and not feel like my skin is like wet and slimy with weird residue, but it is also moisturizing enough for me to use in the winter as well. So it's just something I reach for all the time. I absolutely love it. And again, the smell. And my last body lotion favorite, which honestly could go in the body cream category because of how thick and creamy it is the EOS Shea Butter 24-Hour Moisture Body Lotion. Ingredient highlights in this are shea butter, shea oil, and petrolatum, and my favorite fragrance in the body lotion is Strawberry Dream. This has fragrance notes of sparkling strawberry, pink sugar, open, and vanilla cream, which to me smells like the most dreamy strawberry milkshake ever. Oh my gosh, it's so good. There's something so nostalgic about this scent. I just die for it. And the texture of this, again, is very thick. It's rich, it's creamy, it's pillowy soft, which can definitely lend itself to a bit of a heavier feel if you use too much of it. But if you don't go overboard, the level of moisture is perfect. Next up are body creams / body butters. And the first in that category is the Saltair Multi-Lipid Body Butter. This contains coconut oil, linoleic acid, phospholipids, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, sea buckthorn oil, and ceramides. And this is also in the golden hour fragrance, just like the body wash, but you guys let me know that they also recently launched a scent that they carry in other body care products that I really love called Saltwater Vanilla. We'll get to that in a little bit in a different category because I have a couple more products from Saltair that do have that fragrance, but I didn't realize that they launched this in Saltwater Vanilla, so I am definitely going to pick that up along with a restock of this because I actually just emptied it. But back to this lotion specifically, the reason why I love this on top of the smell is because the texture is absolutely luxurious. It is so soft, so creamy, the perfect amount of buttery without feeling waxy or stiff or dense. It's perfectly thick without feeling heavy, absorbs, dries down beautifully. It is just lush. One of the best body butters I have ever tried at any price point. But second is one that has been around for a lot longer than Saltair. I have loved this for years. It's the Tree Hut Firming Whipped Shea Body Butter. This contains shea butter, pistachio seed oil, and cupachu seed butter, and Tree Hut also has a ton of different fragrance options. They will also do seasonal limited edition drops, but my personal favorite of all time from them is Tropic Glow. This is described as a warm summer scent with notes of almond, golden amber, and Australian sandalwood. Definitely more of a tropical summery scent than just like a true gourmand, but you're getting that gourmand mixed in there. It's just beautiful. And this one also feels incredible, but compared to Saltair, I would say that it's a little bit more whipped in texture while still feeling super soft and silky and creamy. This is also one that feels luxe to me. Like, there's just something about it that feels elevated and like it should cost a lot more than it actually does. So I love that we can get this at the drugstore. And in terms of thickness, I would say that it's actually very comparable to Saltair. It's just that the texture is a little bit different. So really up to personal preference, but in terms of the level of moisture that I get from these, I would say that that is pretty much the same. And last is something that is not nearly as glamorous or fun as the last two, but something that I had to include because it is just so good as a staple is the Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream. Standout ingredients in this include petrolatum, sunflower seed oil, panthenol, niacinamide, and sweet almond oil. And this one is completely fragrance free, but unlike other unscented body care products that I've tried, does not have any weird smell. Like, it doesn't smell chemically or like Play-Doh. It just smells like a nothing lotion, which for fragrance free is about as perfect as it gets. I do definitely prefer scented body care products, but because of how amazing this is, the texture, how well it performs for me, I have been willing to just kind of like make it work. And what I like to do with this is spray some sort of body mist in it that is fragranced, and then that just kind of transforms. That's the word I'm looking for. It transforms it into a scented body cream with just one additional step, and then I can actually customize this to pick and choose how I want it to smell. This is by far the thickest, creamiest body moisturizer in this video. It's dense, it's rich, but somehow does not feel heavy when it dries down. Like, the absorption is perfect while offering deep moisture. It's just amazing. So this is not only something that's great if you have really dry, dehydrated skin, or if it's winter and really cold and dry, but this is also something that I personally love to use when I'm wearing self-tanner because it helps to preserve my tan better than any other lotion or cream I've tried. I am not wearing tan right now. This, you guys, is actually the longest that I have gone without putting on self-tanner in the summer. Normally, once we hit end of April, definitely first weekend in May, I am putting on self-tanner every single week until like September or October. And something just came over me this year and I was like, I can't do it anymore. So I think this might be the first summer ever in like 30 years of living that I just rock my pale skin, maybe throw in a self-tan for events that I have, like some batch parties, weddings. But anyway, when I do plan to use self-tanner this summer, which will now be selectively instead of every single week, this will be the body cream that I use to help to preserve it so that it just lasts as long as possible without fading and looking patchy. The next category I wanted to cover is body exfoliation / resurfacing. And my first favorite in that category is the Naturium Salicylic Acid Body Spray. This contains 2% salicylic acid in addition to niacinamide and galactomyces ferment filtrate. It does not have added fragrance or any sort of smell, and it's an extremely lightweight, watery mist. And I started using and enjoying this, I think it was last summer when I started getting some breakouts on my chest and back. So I wanted to test this out as something that would just be easy to throw into my routine. After I shower, I could just spray this on, let it dry, then put on lotion, and that was enough for me to get rid of those little breakout bumps. But this does not cover all of my body exfoliation needs. This was really just something that was meant to target those breakouts. So number 2 is the Cetaphil Exfoliating Rough and Bumpy Cream, which contains 20% urea in addition to sweet almond oil. It also does not have any sort of scent. Similarly to their moisturizing cream, does not really smell like anything at all. This is probably the least cosmetically elegant product in this video. Not that it's bad, but like, it's certainly not something I picked out because I'm like, oh my God, the texture is amazing. It's definitely on the thicker side and can feel a little bit heavy if you use too much. So just another that you want to make sure you don't go overboard with. I would say that this is like a really rich, creamy lotion, but I had to include it in this video because it works so incredibly well for exfoliating. And there are a couple different ways that I like to use this. The first is for self-tan prep. So maybe like 1-2 days before I'm ready to apply self-tanner, I can use this to help to exfoliate, get my skin ready, especially if I have a layer of self-tanner on already, then that can kind of help to ease the removal process. But the second, which was even more impressive to me, is when I used this winter for pretty intense razor bumps. I had them all down one side of my leg randomly. They were really stubborn, wouldn't go away. So I finally decided to test this out, and immediately I noticed an improvement within 24 hours. Honestly, maybe even like 12, because I feel like I put this on at night and then went to bed and woke up and was like, wow, that is the first time that looks better in a couple weeks. So whether you also have razor bumps that won't go away, maybe just really rough, bumpy skin, or something else that you want to exfoliate on your body, this is definitely something to look into. It is powerful. And last for body resurfacing is the Naturium Skin Renewing Retinol Body Lotion. This contains encapsulated retinol, sunflower seed oil, shea butter, olive M1000, allantoin, linoleic acid, phospholipids, phytosterols, and hyaluronic acid. This is fragrance-free, and this one, I really can't get a smell from this. I swear that when I used to have the like original version of this, there was a little bit of like a salty smell, but I think this has been reformulated recently because now I'm getting nothing, which is again good for something that's fragrance free. For a lotion, this one is definitely on the thicker side. I would describe it as being a little bit buttery, kind of rich. It definitely has some nice slip. It's really moisturizing and overall a solid option for a body retinol, but I feel like I want something even stronger than this. So I debated on even including it in this video because I'm like, again, I feel like there's just other options out there that I'm sure are even more potent than this. Not to say that there isn't a benefit in using something that's that's a little bit gentler and not going to irritate your skin, that obviously has its pros. But I feel like there are other options out there that I'm definitely interested in testing out, even if they're not retinol. Like I know at the drugstore specifically, there's a brand called Amylactin that has lactic acid body lotions, and I think they have a 12% and a 15%. Naturium even has other body exfoliant options. I think that they have a glycolic acid body wash. There's just other things that I want to try in this resurfacing category, especially now that I'm not really doing self-tanner this summer. It's time for me to go even deeper here. So stay tuned for other options here. If there's anything you want me to test out, products you've heard good things about, products that you may be loving that you want me to try, let me know. I am happy to do that. Underarms, baby. So I, shockingly, am not a natural deodorant kind of girl. I just use good old Degree. However, that doesn't mean that I don't also like to add some other things for my underarms to help to either refresh or add a nice smell, because I do like to do that. So the first thing that I like to use for that purpose is the Thayers Witch Hazel Facial Toner. This contains witch hazel extract, aloe extract, and cucumber extract. So it definitely has that nice like fresh cucumbery scent, but it's subtle. And this one doesn't really have any sort of texture I want to call out. Like it just feels like water. But what I do want to call out about this is how incredibly amazing it is for just like refreshing the underarms. I've done this for several years now. I've definitely shared it in previous videos. I think in one of my beauty hacks videos I included this, but what I like to do is soak this on a reusable cotton pad, wipe that under my arms, pat my underarms dry with a towel, reapply deodorant, and then, oh my God, you're just reset, refreshed. It helps with sweat, it helps with odor. It's really amazing in the summertime if, let's say, you were outside for several hours and maybe sweating and not smelling as good as you were before, but you don't have time to shower yet. This as a refresh to then reapply deodorant can't be understated how helpful that is. Another product that can help with similar things, but in a little bit of a different way, is the Saltair Serum Deodorant. So this contains a 5% alpha hydroxy acid complex. It has mandelic acid, witch hazel, gluconolactone, lactic acid, niacinamide, xylitol esters, and panthenol. And this is the product I was referring to that comes in that saltwater vanilla fragrance. They recently sent this to me in PR. Previously, I had the pink beach scent with the pink cap, and then what's the blue cap one? The light blue. I had both of those. That's what I was using last summer, but now I have this. Oh, that's good. The notes are vanilla, creamy sandalwood, and sea salt. So it's like a summery tropical vanilla. And this one has a, I would say like watery serum-like texture. So it's definitely more serumy than the witch hazel toner. Stays wet under the arms a little bit longer, but it does completely dry down and feel weightless. And this is something that I have really been enjoying as like a prep step before I apply my Degree deodorant. So I'll swipe this on, let it dry, apply my Degree. And it's something that I feel like just helps even further with sweat and smell, again, especially in the summer. The only thing to note about this is that you do not want to apply this after you shave your underarms because it will burn like the dickens. And last is the Saltair Skin Deodorant, again in the saltwater vanilla scent. This contains zinc, Resinoliate? I do not know. Salicylic acid, tamarine oil, Saccharomyces ferment, lysine, coconut oil, and shea butter. Which all sounds well and good and definitely will have its benefits, but is certainly not enough for me to replace my Degree deodorant. So this is something that I really am only using with that Degree for the smell. Not that my Degree doesn't smell good. I really like the smell of that, but it's like if I can get this saltwater vanilla scent to waft a little bit when I start sweating, well, I really love that. And last but not least for this video, body sunscreen. First is the Banana Boat Light as Air sunscreen, which I feel like I discovered maybe 5-ish years ago now, a really long time ago, and I absolutely loved it. I was like, this is the best body sunscreen ever. But then I noticed it wasn't being carried in stores anymore, which usually signals that something is going to be discontinued. So I was like, oh my God, I have to start testing out other body sunscreens. I have to find a replacement for this because this is just the best. And long story short, I never found something that was as good. So when I discovered that this was in fact not discontinued and something that you could still get online to this day, I was like, are you kidding me? It never went away. It was never something I needed to find a replacement for. It just was no longer being carried in stores. But as of this point in time, you can still buy this on Amazon, on other retailers online. So it's back in my life, and thank God, because it's so good. The sunscreen filters in this are avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and on top octocrylene, and this is an SPF 50. Inactive highlights in this are panthenol and aloe juice, and this is water resistant for up to 80 minutes. This smells so good to me. It definitely has that classic summer sunscreen scent, but in a way that's a bit lighter and fresher and cleaner than some others. So good. But what I love most about this is hands down the texture. It's soft, it's not greasy. It's almost something that feels a little bit airy because it's so lightweight. The dry down's amazing. It doesn't leave your body feeling like so slippery and oily. It just feels like you're wearing a light velvety moisturizer, and I love that about this because it's really the only body sunscreen I've ever tried that has this exact kind of texture and dry down. Love it. But another really solid option is the Hawaiian Tropic Sheer Touch Sunscreen Lotion. This is also an SPF 50 with avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene for sunscreen filters. Ingredient highlights include shea butter, mango seed butter, papaya, mango, passion flower, plumeria flower, and guava extract, in addition to panthenol and aloe juice, and this is also water resistant for up to 80 minutes. The smell of this one is definitely stronger than Banana Boat, but I love it. It's more tropical, it's warmer, it's more fruity and floral. Oh my god, it's so good. And I would say that this one is a little bit richer and a little bit more buttery than Banana Boat, but not by a crazy amount. It's not something that feels overly thick or heavy. It's also not something that feels greasy. It still has great dry down. I would say there's just a little bit more moisturizer residue than with Banana Boat. The last body sunscreen is one that I went on a manhunt for. Well, not really. I just like looked on Amazon and found it. But this is the sunscreen that was in my household growing up. So when I think about being a kid in the summer, playing outside, going to the water park, this is the sunscreen that I think of. This is the smell that I think of. Like, it instantly transports me back to that time. And I just have memories of these tubes of sunscreen sitting around my house. They were like orangey yellow, but I knew that over the years it became less and less easy to get your hands on it, and I couldn't even remember the name anymore. So I texted my mom when I was preparing for this video, like, what is the sunscreen that we always used to use? That was the best stuff ever. And she was like, Ocean Potion. She used to get this at Walmart, but then said that one day it just wasn't available at Walmart anymore. Kind of similar to Banana Boat. What are these retailers doing with our favorite sunscreens? But when I looked into it, I found that Ocean Potion does still exist. And while you can't get it in Walmart or like your traditional drugstore, you can still get it on Amazon. So I wanted to include it in this video because it's so good. This is also an SPF 50 with avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene for sunscreen filters. And other highlights include aloe juice and cocoa seed butter, and this one is water resistant for up to 80 minutes. This is the scent of my childhood in the summer. This right here in a bottle. They have actually trademarked it as the scent of sunshine, and to me, this smells like an orange dreamsicle version of a sunscreen. Oh, it smells so good. And this is similar in terms of how thick it is to Hawaiian Tropic, so also something that's not like overly heavy, but instead of being buttery like Hawaiian Tropic, I would say it's just a bit more creamy. It feels very moisturizing. It's not greasy. It's just such a good body sunscreen, and one that I was so excited to find still exists. I actually accidentally picked up the smaller tube of this, so they do have it available in like, you know, more this kind of size on Amazon. I'm purchasing. My only complaint about it is that it doesn't still have its classic packaging. Bring back the old stuff. It just is so nostalgic. All right, you guys, those are my top 3 favorite drugstore body care products in every single category. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if we share any of the same favorites, or if you have a favorite that I didn't mention and you think I need to try, because I am always down and excited to try out your recommendations. I feel like I find a lot of good products that way, so let me know. If you're enjoying this Best of Drugstore series, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and doing those things. It means the most to me. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up a week from today, but until then, I hope you have a great week.